I'm here to talk to you today about change. Reason why I'm talking to you about this topic, because my hair has changed. My hair, of course, used to be a very dark black. It wasn't really jet black, like the same color as this, but it was definitely a very dark black. Maybe what they would say off black. So for many years, I would dye it different colors throughout the years because my family was hairdressers. My mother was a cosmetologist, so I was able to get my hair the way I wanted it. One time I wanted it red, she dyed it red. One time I wanted it blonde, and that was a mistake, of course, because I also had a relaxer and I insisted, even though she told me don't do it, don't do it. So I got my sister to do it, and guess what? My hair fell out, right? So I learned a big lesson about not listening to people wiser and older than you. So what brought me about this topic is because my hair, honestly, it took a lot for me to accept this, because this is now a new beauty trend, of course, that people, rock this color and people actually dye their hair this color. But it's still a work in progress because our society doesn't always accept change, right? And it also depends on where you live. Now, in different countries, this is valued as very beautiful. Is very high esteem, because for people to age in our country, in America, our country wants to do the opposite of aging. They want to always be forever young. There was a song that I grew up actually on called Forever Young, and I know that a rapper, who I'm not going to mention his name, has remixed it, but I used to listen to that song way back in the day, back in the 80s when it came out. But what I'm trying to say is this: in America, we want to be forever young. So when you start to go through changes like what I'm going through this silver, beautiful hair crown of glory. I didn't want it at first because our society deems it not, in the social norm. But look at the way the world is right now. We're in a world right now where social norms are not the same anymore. People are coming out doing what they want, looking the way they want, dressing the way they want. And in some ways, I applaud it because I applaud change. But I don't applaud when people try to impose a natural occurrence that God has given us, women that are gray, given us, women and men, put it that way. Everybody at some point, and it's so rare genetically that very few people don't go gray. Like, I don't, so it's very few. I mean, I know there is people, it takes them a long time. They could be close to 70, 80, 90 maybe. But for me, it happened early in my early 20s or mid 20s. So for me, yes, it was a change. So change can either make or break you. When a company wants to come in with new computers, a lot of times people are not ready for their change and they want to go back to the old way. In some cases, change is bad, and in some cases, change is good. But you have to be ready one way or the other. For me, my hair changing this color was, I could either continue to keep hiding it and dyeing it and nobody would know except me, or I would let it grow and let it do what it was going to do naturally. So I decided, for my own peace of mind, that I was going to love and accept and embrace my change. I cannot reverse this change. All I can do now is embrace it and accept it. So change can either be a bad thing or change can be a good thing. It depends on you, the person. My hair is very naturally curly, but the curl pattern, since it has changed gray, has changed. It used to be very defined, very wavy. People used to think that my hair was like I did something to it to make it go that way, because we also have this thing about naturally curly hair. We think it's only supposed to be fine and not textured. Well, my hair is also textured, but it's also wavy and curly. So at the end of the day, this is who I am, and I had to be willing to accept that change. So sometimes change is necessary. Sometimes when you're ready to move on, when you're ready to move into a different field of life, you're ready to change careers. At one point, I changed careers. I was into finance and banking and stock market and brokerage. And I always had this dream that I was going to go to New York and be this really good stockbroker. But kids you know, and family, maybe not so much, because when you're in those types of careers, you have to be very dedicated to that career, and your family a lot of times will be on the back burner. I had young kids at the time, and moving to New York was just not an option with young kids. Now, maybe if I was single, I probably would have did it. But I say this to say that changing a career is sometimes necessary for change. Can I get caught up in if it's the right timing, if it's the right thing to do, because you could be putting your dreams on hold because maybe there's a lot going on and you're just not sure. However, just like my hair has changed, change is necessary, you know? And if you accept the change, who knows what may come out of it. Number one, because more people have accepted the gray hair journey and gray hair transition, more people now have accepted it. Younger people now that are going gray or silver early are accepting it. And they're like, you know what? This is who I am. This is me. So it's necessary is what I'm trying to say. It's necessary to accept who you are, to accept the change that is necessary. Sometimes, like I said, if it doesn't work out, you can always decide, okay, you know what? Maybe this job is not the best job for me. Maybe my career path is not the best. Maybe I do need to go to school. Some of you guys are struggling with if you should go back to school, if you should, you know, change up a few things, change the living room, change your home, change whatever. You know, it's necessary sometimes. So, but anyway, that's part of the reasons why I brought up this topic, because change is inevitable and we can always elevate our lives and make things better. For example, if you want to lose weight, yes, going to the gym and having self-discipline and also intermittent fasting and, you know, drinking more water, drinking healthier, a healthier lifestyle, you can lose weight. Does that require surgery all the time? Of course not. Sometimes it's just good old-fashioned hard work, getting in the gym. Or if you don't want to go into a gym, going for a walk at the park 30 to 40 minutes a day, and you can start shedding pounds. So sometimes we struggle to make changes because of our society. Our society plays a role in how we view ourselves, how we look, how we take care of ourselves, and sometimes our careers, the careers we choose. Some careers are way more demanding than others. Some is a little bit more laid back and chill. Maybe those types of jobs, you're not as stressed, you're not as going through, there's not a lot of like backbiting and this corporate community that we have once we get into some of these areas. But at the end of the day, who wants to be stressed out, whether it's with themselves or whether it's with their life or whether it's with their home? You know, each of these things connect us to who we are. You have your home life, you have your job life, you have your church life, you have your friends, your family. All of these things connect right back to us. And if any of these things is out of sync, we're going to fall apart, right? We're going to go into a deep-sided depression. We're not going to be motivated. We're not going to want to do anything. And I've been in those shoes. In fact, I'm in those shoes now because my life feels like it's chaotic.